All right, out there. I'm talking to you, metalheads. Welcome to the show, Metal Block. We're glad to have you with us. So excited. Another show to be hanging out with you, talking about some cool metal. So, we got a great show tonight. Before we get started, though, you know how it goes. Go say what's up to Brandon on social media. Go check out what he's posting and all of the awesome titles that he's putting out every day or most days so that you can just have a suggestion or something to listen to, I like to say, if you're like me, some days you wake up and you're like, what's new? And there's a lot new. So maybe just having somebody tell you what's out there helps you out. So we can all use a little help. So, all right, that's it with the formalities. Now we're going to get to what's awesome about tonight's show. So, you guys, we like to chat with some awesome metalheads every episode. And the fun thing is tonight we get to again. These guys are freaking awesome, and we are excited. We have Infestuous with us here tonight, ready to melt some faces, guys. So excited about this one. I say that a lot, but I don't know. I'm tingling right now. So I hope you guys just buckle up. We're about to get going. All right, fellas. We're excited to have you. Thanks for joining. Tell us what you do with the band.
Okay. I am
Alan.
Alan from the Black Dahlia Murder / Infestuous, and I play drums. And the only thing I do different in Infestuous is also vocals for this initial release.
I play guitar and do vocals in Infestuous.
All right, guys. So excited, man. Thank you for joining. Man, what a great night. Brando, kick us off, man.
I'm Brando, and I interrupt people. How's it going?
It's great. Thanks for having us, man.
Yes. Yeah, thank you both for coming on. I'm just going to start by saying, big fan of the release. Like, super stoked about it. It's pretty awesome front to back. Like, there's something kick-ass in every single song. So, splendid job, gentlemen. Splendid job. And we are excited to talk to you guys about it today. So, one of the things we like to do to kick things off is learn about you and your history with metal. So, Matt, why don't you start us off? Tell us your metal origin story. How did you kind of get into metal music and then start playing it?
Well, I got my first guitar when I was in about, I think, first grade. It was just a classical guitar. But around that same time period, I was just getting into Kiss. So I was listening to a lot of Kiss, still listening to a lot of Kiss. That graduated into Alice Cooper and Wasp and King Diamond. So I grew up listening to a lot of shock rock stuff. And then that kind of, and then in 8th grade, 7th grade, new metal, and just new metal led way to brutal death metal. And I kind of got a little edgy in high school where I would only listen to brutal death metal, and I would make sure that I brought my my CD collection to school with me every single day and show off all the brutal, horrific, disgusting album covers. It's pretty stupid, but that's what I did.
I love.
But yeah, no, I mean, I've been into rock and roll and heavy metal my entire life. It's like pretty much my whole thing,
Fuck yeah, man. That's awesome. How big was the CD case? Your CD collection? Did you have one of the 208ers, the 164? What'd you bring?
It was one of those big binders. It had 4 on each panel, and you'd flip it. I think it might have held around like 300 CDs or so. I don't have it anymore. It was stolen from me about 10 to 12 years ago, but it had some cool stuff in there.
Dang. So
I've rebuilt a bit.
all right. Did you get a new binder?
I actually just started collecting vinyl instead. I said, it's going to take a lot more effort for someone to steal my entire record collection now.
There you go.
You got to come into my house and you got to spend some time. Yeah.
That's right. So I actually was thumbing through mine. I still have my Case Logic binder as well. I have a 208 and a 164 from high school through college and like just growing up and stuff. Like I was thumbing through there, I was like, man, I forgot about all this stuff. Like it's been so long. So that's cool. You had that too. Heck yeah. Alan, what's your metal origin story, man?
So I grew up in a household that my parents played a lot of music. Like, I mean, we're actual musicians, and they listened to a lot of music as well. And uh, so like I started out with like the Beatles and stuff, and then like later down the road when I was about 9 or 10ish, like my dad started getting into like Green Day and like Blink 182 and Nirvana and stuff. And there was like a healthy amount of alternative like radio stations in Michigan at the time. And uh it just kind of became like a gateway drug for me. It was like I was always looking for the next like fastest, heaviest thing that I hadn't heard yet. And the pop punk slash kind of grunge was like getting me interested in that. And then like the new metal wave was kicking off. And so then I was listening to like Limp Bizkit and Korn and Slipknot and all that shit. And then I just kept trying to find the next most heavy thing that I could possibly find. And had couple older friends like show me the classics like Pantera and Slayer. And I was like, oh my god, this is so much heavier than fucking Metallica, like Enter Sandman Black Album. And yeah, so from that point it was just like an ever or never ending quest of trying to find the next heaviest thing. And yeah, so it just kind of spiraled out of control from there, and I've been caught up in it ever since.
I don't know how you used to discover stuff back in the day, Alan, but like pre streaming and YouTube and stuff like that, I would get monthly Century Media mail order catalog, and I would just blind order stuff with mail orders that I got from my job at Eaton Park. I'd just
See,
order like 10 CDs a paycheck of just random stuff, or I'd order stuff from like Severed Records and like Brutal Bands, which were like back in the day. I don't even know if those. I think Severed's still around, but just anything that looked or sounded fucking great, and a lot of the times it wasn't. Blind buying stuff's risky. You get some stuff that sometimes it lasts the test of time, and sometimes you hear some stuff you're like, I can't believe I spent $15 on this. But
exactly, yeah. That was my biggest hang up is I couldn't trust albums. I had been duped too many times by names and album art and all that other stuff. And my money was too precious. I'm a drummer. It's like every cent counts because we have the most expensive shit to constantly buy. It's like you got to replace drum heads, you got to replace sticks, you got to replace cymbals. And then, of course, when you're young, it's like you've got whatever you can possibly afford or get gifted or happens to find its way into your possession or whatever. And so yeah, there was maybe like one handful of like blind buys I've ever done in my life, and the only time it ever paid off was when I went and blind bought Himza, Courting Tragedy and Disaster, which it's metalcore. It's not, death metal, but it was definitely what I was looking for at the time. Some fucking really like evil sounding riff based like harmonized riffing. Like I mean just it sounded like uh kind of another version of Dahlia, which I was also like super into at the time. But I think that's the only one that I like was extremely happy with and didn't regret ultimately.
So I would there was a place in Norman, Oklahoma where Zoomy and I grew up, It's called Hastings. It was like there was like a bookstore with used music and like used CDs and magazines and stuff like that. And man, I'd go in there and just thumb through those used CDs and just whatever I could find. $3-5 for a CD. If it had a cool looking logo or artwork, I wouldn't buy lunch all week in high school. Like I would use my lunch money to go to Hastings and buy used CDs and then hope to God that they were worth it.
I've heard of Hastings. That definitely was like, I think it's out in Montana, might also be in Colorado. I'm not sure, but I had a buddy of mine actually, and I think it was in Wyoming. I think it just wasn't in my city specifically, like as I was growing up and really getting into heavy music. But I had a friend who was from another city who moved to where I was living for college, and he talked a lot about it. And yeah, we didn't have anything like that in my town. It was like we had one like local music store or record store that basically everybody would go to, and I I went there occasionally. It was more so like uh I always knew what I wanted. I mean, in terms of like buying music and stuff. So I just ended up, again, as a teenager with not very much money, like I would just order it offline or download it or whatever the hell, like whichever was easiest, because it was kind of like, you know, how do I get this into my hands like right this second? If it's been in Best Buy or whatever, I'll go get it. But if like, downloading it is faster, I'll do that too. And then if I really love it, I'll go search it out somehow. But it's like the whole, we don't have this in stock. Would you like us to order it for you? Was always like, why? I could literally just do that myself and not pay the markup. Like, I mean, support local. Right, right. Support local business for sure. But I mean, goddamn, that's got to be the dumbest business model I've ever heard of.
It was probably very handy in a time when not everybody wanted to use the internet too, like Hastings days, I know, like, because that's what they would ask you if you were there. And so nowadays I'm like, it's kind of pointless too. I'm with you. But back then I was like, I could see old people being like, yes, would you order that for me, please? But they weren't looking for death metal. They were looking for other stuff.
Yes, I would like that new Goat Porn album. If you would please order that.
Exactly. Carving out the eyes of God. I love that record.
Oh man, so good. I remember Severed Records that you were talking about, Matt. I remember ordering and getting things from them too. Bands like, I think like Cum Beast or something, and you're like, what is this?
That has to be cool.
When I was a junior in high school, the band I was in at the time put out a split on Severed Records. So that's my connection to Severed Records, is that. But yeah, it was always they had some what's like Insidious Decrepancy might have been on Severed, or that guy's got like 6 bands. That guy Insidious Decrepancy. I can't
Hey,
think.
was Steve's new project? Brutal Steve was his new project on Severed, or was Horde Casket ever on Severed?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think one of theirs was on Severed. One of his projects was on Severed. Steve Casket, you guys know Steve Casket?
Sounds familiar.
It does. It definitely sounds familiar.
He's out there.
He's a human on this earth.
He's real.
Yep. This is wandering the earth with a guitar in hand.
You can't be too careful. There's too many AI bots out there nowadays.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. I actually said this to somebody else. They brought up like Elon Musk, and I was like, I don't even know if the dude's real. And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, have you ever seen him? And they were like, well, no, but he's on TV. I'm like, that's fake.
Exactly. I want to see him do the Terminator 2 thing where he cuts open his arm and like pulls the flesh off. And if I see muscle and tendon and bone, then I'll believe it.
Okay, you're real.
Yeah.
I'd make him dig through that too, just to maybe scrape the top layer of the bone off, make sure it's not a paint job.
Yeah, exactly. Let's send this off to a lab, and then within 72 hours I'll have my, consensus.
Yes,
professional.
yes.
Yep, yep.
Well, guys, so your recent release is Unfathomable Mutagenic Abominations.
There you
Yes.
go. Thanks,
Love the
Matt.
artwork too. The whole thing is it's so awesome. Man, I would love to hear how this album kind of came together for you guys. Like what was the creative process like?
I started writing the songs on this record in 2007, and had I recorded it two different times before I even knew Alan, minus a song or two with other drummers. And then Alan and I met, and Alan and I have done a few different musical projects together. And we were working on this. And it was called something different at the time. It was a different band name. But then we shelved it for a really long time. And then 6 years ago, I found the files. I hit him up and I said, "Let's finish it." And we finished it up. So I mean, it was a long time in the making.
Okay. Yeah, I did notice on like Metal Archives says that the band's been active since like 2009 or something like that. So I was like, but it's just the two singles off this album and then this album. So I was like, this must have taken a while to put together. I like
You
it.
could put active in quotes.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
It's definitely been it took a long time, but
It's been gestating since 2007, I guess.
it's very cathartic to have it be physically in our hands.
Well, it has aged very well because I don't think it's really aged. I mean, it fits right in with the stuff you like, that's being put out these days. It's super technical. It's super groovy. It's got tons of rhythm. Like I mean, there's not enough good things to say about it. Like it truly is a remarkable piece of work. Like, it caught my ear when it came out. Like it was on the release list and I checked it out and I went back to it a few times, but like over the past like month or so, I just like I keep going back to it, and every time I go back to it, I hear a new part in a song that just like catches me. I was like, damn, this album just gets cooler and cooler.
There's a lot
So
of
like it not in the sound, but like it's like Misery Index to me in the sense that I've seen Misery Index like 8 times live, and every time I went to go see them, it was like, how is it possible that was better than the last time I saw them? Like every single time. So it's like every time I throw your album on, I feel the same way about it. Like it just gets better. I love it. So
Dude, thank you so much. Because
that's great, man.
honestly, uh, that was a concern of mine. Was that I was worried that people were going to listen to this and be like, Jesus Christ, this sounds like a couple of, like 20-year-olds wrote this, and I wasn't sure how it was going to hold up. I mean, we've progressed so far from like even the very beginning of like 2000 to right now with like every subgenre of metal, and it's like, but brutal death metal has only gotten like faster, crazier, noisier, more extreme. And yeah, it was just kind of weird to be putting out a record that we were almost like done with back in 2012, um and doing it now, and at a time when like we're obviously older and wiser, hopefully, with our musical writing abilities and sensibilities of coming up with stuff, and like so yeah, it's a huge compliment. I really appreciate it.
well, absolutely, it's well deserved. And so you both do vocals on this record, right?
Yes.
So
Every other song.
every other song. And how did you guys decide who was going to do which songs?
I think Alan had already planned to do one of them. But Alan wrote the majority of the lyrics. The one song I think he had written before we finished it. You wrote that Planet Smasher. Those lyrics were forever ago, right?
Yeah, I back when I first joined Dahlia, like within the first couple of years or something, like I was, going back listening to the instrumental of this album, and we hadn't done vocals, and I was like, man, I auditioned for the Faceless like back when I was like 19, and I had gotten a couple callbacks for it, and then Derek, their original vocalist, like came back, and this would have been around Planetary Duality time, and so he came back, he did that album, but I had always wanted to do vocals, and or like in some project or in some facet, and so like listening to those instrumental tracks, I was just like, man, I really wish like we had finished this, because at the time it just basically had gotten put on the back burner indefinitely, and like we had no plans on like doing anything with it. So I decided, well, I guess I could just do this myself, just to see like what I come up with, and what this would sound like with vocals. So I wrote some lyrics. I recorded vocals like through my fucking laptop microphone, and just did a little demo, and then like yeah, fucking practically almost 10 years later, that's when Matt hit me up, and he was like, hey, so you thinking about like maybe wanting to do this? And I was like, yeah, actually, I had done a demo of this, a long time ago, and like you should check it out. And so yeah, then it kind of went from there, and it was a very interesting, process, because it's like, even though I'm a drummer and vocals are very much like rhythmic, uh, for metal and everything, that was not like a voicing, like literally and figuratively, that I had thought about at all in terms of like vocal patterning, um and the way that it fits within the music, and just kind of like, so I wrote a lot of the lyrics first, and then just kind of like figured out how to try and make it work rhythmically into the music. And it's sort of like movie editing. It's like when you're watching a movie, you're obviously not paying attention to all of the edits and how they all work together to, formulate a scene and things like that. And that's kind of like what happened with, the vocal situation for me, because uh, of course, I, knew the lyrics to a lot of songs and things, but I just never really paid a lot of attention to like the um the way that the vocal rhythms and stuff would play off of the rhythms of the music, and how like they purposely chose not to fill this space, or they would be very sparse about lyrics, and how many words are fitting into something in this space. And so yeah, that was kind of new and interesting to me, uh and I'm glad I got the chance to do it. It was really fun. It's just like, now that I've done it, I definitely know what to look out for in like, a future situation, if it happens.
I imagine that's pretty tough. Like, maybe, that there are some people who, I mean, obviously there are some people who can do that more easily, but I can't do that at all. I'm always trying to figure out, like, even if I write something, like where, if I were to write vocals that went to that, where those vocals would go, like the vocal rhythm to the instrument or on top of the instrument. And it's like the only thing I can ever figure out to do is say something when I'm playing or something like that. And it's like, it is extremely, and I'm not even talking about like trying to play it and sing it. Like, obviously that, I'm just saying, like, it's played, it's recorded, and then I'm trying to figure out vocal patterns, and I'm like, I don't know
The
how
best,
guys do this, man.
you come up with the vocal pattern first. So you got your song, and you hear your riffs, and you just kind of like think like percussively what the rhythm of the vocal should do, and don't even worry about lyrics if you have them. I think sometimes people write lyrics first, and they want to like try to fit the lyrics to the song, but I think it works better the other way. Flip it. It works better for the song probably like 90% of the time. If you have the melody or cadence of the vocals that you want to do done in your head before you even attempt to write lyrics. And then you just kind of, you can write down like syllables as like spaces and just kind of fill them in, you know. I think that helps a lot doing it like that.
That's good advice. That's good advice. Matt is going to start a school because that is probably the best that anybody has ever like told me, hey, start here. You know, anytime I'm like, man, I can't ever figure out how to write it, they're like, yeah.
See, now that,
Yeah,
but for me, that's the easy part's coming up with rhythms. But then I sit here and try to come up with lyrics, and I sit here and just go,
I was gonna
yeah.
say one of my issues was I was practically writing short stories for this shit, and I was trying to figure out how to cram all of it together. And he was like, "Dude, you literally don't need like a beginning, middle, and end to explain this concept of what you're doing." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I guess like I can be a little bit more poetic and abstract about things, but like in my limited experience, I was kind of coming at it in a more maybe like analytical way or something where I'm like, no, I have to have all of the details and beginning, middle, and end to like these concepts and things. But yeah, having it like be a joint effort between the two of us was really good because like he was able to kind of rein me in on like certain things and give me a little bit more frame of reference as to like how to approach things and how to, finish it off and just make it work.
We did all the vocals over like a 3-month period in 2020 where Alan lived at my house in this room, just sitting here at this desk, like hours every day doing that, and then recording all the vocals.
Oh, and what was it like slam poetry style recording demos so that way like whatever the
Oh,
songs were that you were going to do yeah, whatever the songs you were going to do then like I would slam poetry style like rap it into a mic so he would know like the rhythmic approach to like certain things and I don't know if you still have those on your computer, but man, maybe one day we'll have to release
no,
that
I just have
version.
where you were doing you were doing vocals in the styles of cartoon characters. Got like Meatwad and I think a Peter Griffin and maybe Brack
Oh yeah, it's Stewie.
and Stewie. Yeah,
Yeah, we had gotten to a
yeah.
point where I was tracking and I was not like delivering uh the vocals very well and I was getting frustrated and he was just like, fuck it, let's just fuck off with these takes and just see what it sounds like. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Release it. I want to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. Release
Release
release the
release
cartoon version.
Like a beat, like B-side.
So I was gonna say though that this is the kind of stuff that you like lost with CDs, right? Because with CDs, like at the end of the CD, whenever it would like play and keep playing, and then you'd have the bonus track on the end or something, and you'd be like, well, what do we have here? Hey, it didn't end. What's going on? And there was a while where everybody was doing bonus tracks, and then computers. Once everybody had a computer in their house, then there was like sometimes a CD-ROM disc that went with it. And it's like streaming's cool and all, but we lost a lot of cool like add-on stuff that's hard to find, or you might not even know how to look for it. It just came with what you bought. And so you were like, hey, what's this? I'm going to check it out. So anyway, I'm just saying, bonus track, bonus CD-ROM could have the cartoon version of the song.
Oh hell yeah! And I can't wait to do a CD-ROM and listen to the frustrations of everyone who doesn't have a disk drive anymore.
Right? I'm sitting here looking at my laptop like, oh man, I wouldn't even be able to do anything with it.
We can put like a
You can still get them, right? They're just USB or something, or HDMI connection or something like that.
I can't say
Right.
I've looked for a CD-ROM in ever.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip this CD, on my computer.
put some cool malware on there too.
Yes. Go get
Yeah,
my
what was
Xbox
it?
360 out.
I saw something that was talking about how AI, like gathers all the information and all the things that you do so that it can, like get smarter and everything. And somebody was like, yeah, we used to call that spyware.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, it's just gonna be like, pop it into your computer, and then it'll be some horrible low scale GIF or whatever, and then it'll also take all of your credit card numbers and stuff and send it to us.
I
But it's
noticed
part
you
of the fan club experience.
used the correct pronunciation of GIF.
Yeah, that's right. I won't have any internet nerds trying to correct us in the comments here.
I thought we were talking about peanut butter. We're not talking about peanut butter.
We
Oh,
could
you
be.
could definitely put peanut butter on that disk and load it into your computer. I mean, you could do that with anybody's.
For sure. At least that CD-ROM would be delicious.
Oh, hell yeah, your computer is gonna love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, so Matt, you said you had these songs like recorded for a while. Did you tweak them? Did you guys tweak them getting ready for this like recent release?
I mean, as far as like the actual structure of the songs go, the songs that are, I think that the only ones that were written after Alan and I met, there is, it's just Inexorable Oblivion. I think that's the only one.
No, and Palace of Filth, and yeah, but the rest of them are all old. And there was actually one that we were gonna put on there that came from the Smut Jungle EP, but like yeah, I don't know
No,
what happened to that.
the only thing that really changed was the drum patterns, which are vastly superior. I think that the drum patterns on this album kind of make these songs way more interesting to listen to. It's almost like makes it more like jazz in a way.
So there is a part on Assimilate, Annihilate, and you'll probably know what I'm talking about, but I don't know how to describe it except for it reminds me of like it's death metal swing.
Oh, the
Like
disco
swing.
dance break.
Yeah, like it's at like a minute 37. Beep, beep. Yeah, like so when you said the jazz thing, it just made me think of that. But no, the whole thing is just I'm gonna stop saying that now because I've said it enough times. But good job, guys.
Hey,
Is
thank you.
is this something that you're able to play? Like, are there plans to like go play any of this live, or is this going to be kind of a studio project only type deal?
I guess time will tell. It took time. It took however many years to even decide that this album would see the light of day. So we'll see what happens.
We have absolutely awful time management skills, and we yeah, it was unbelievable how it took almost an additional 6 years to get it put out after we had gotten the fucking vocals tracked. And it also
Yeah,
it took a minute too to find somebody that was gonna mix it the way that we wanted as well. Like it's tough because you know it's like this is the first project that I've ever been really involved with in terms of like um thinking about that type of stuff, like having somebody come mix it. And we've only got a budget that two individuals can afford that nobody um I mean, this isn't a band that anybody's heard before, so it's not like we have like money set aside from other records or something to be like, oh, let's go to this top name mixer or this guy or blah blah blah. And so like since we were self-funding it and it just was going to be the debut release, like we had to be very conscientious of costs and stuff. But like as far as yeah, playing it live and whatnot, we've gotten some interest from a few different people, like a buddy of ours in another band. Actually, it was funny. Rob Wharton from Cognitive, or no, I'm sorry, Cognizance, right? I think it's Cognizant. I'm sorry, there's two different bands. I know both those
Yep.
guys who have that. Um, but yeah, Cognitive, New Jersey. So we were actually supposed to, with Infestuous, go out and do a small tour with them back in 2012, in the fall of 2012, and we were basically like ready to go kind of. And then it turned out that like I had gotten the offer from Dahlia to come audition for them. And so, of course, I went and auditioned, and then like everything went well. And I was even beyond that going to fill in for Sven from Aborted, his other band, System Divide. And I had to cancel the Cognitive tour. I had to cancel the System Divide tour just so that way I could be like focused 100% on that Dahlia audition. And then that freed me up to go do my first tour with Dahlia, which was with Death Clock and like Machine Head and All That Remains. And so yeah, we never got to go out with them, but he had hit us up again, like uh, within, I don't know, probably the last like 5-ish months, and he was like, "Hey, Cognitive's going out doing a headliner, like, would you guys want to go do it?" And I was just like, dude, I'm super flattered, and that would be awesome to get to go do that, tour that we never got to do together. But it's like, it's literally just me and Matt at this point. And so it's like, if we were going to do it, we'd either have to decide if we were going to put everything on tracks and play to that, or if like we would get fill-in guys, and then also have to know like the scheduling of it and whether or not I'm available and he has the ability to take time off. So, you know, like you said, it's a possibility in the future, but I think like a lot of things kind of have to line up, and we got to figure out details, and it's got to be something that's like worthwhile just to make the time for it.
It's much more likely to just do another record at some point. Because Alan's, he's in Black Dye Murder. I'm in a band called Doctor Smoke. That's like my main thing. So we both do other things, and then just like he mentioned, having just the two of us and having to source out other musicians might be tough. So I don't know,
And
maybe
expensive.
someday, but we'll see.
Cool. Do you guys get to have you gotten to get together and play these songs, just the two of you, like just jam them out?
Physically,
Yeah.
I guess the closest we've come to that in a long time is when we filmed the music video.
Right.
Yeah. So
There was
there's that.
there was that, and I actually have like man, when I still had well, I still do have it, but like I have an old digital video camera like from the early thousands, and like I recorded a like practice or whatever. It was kind of like a pre studio type like situation where we got together and jammed in a in our ex bandmate from another project. We jammed in his living room, and uh that was it. I think that was like 2010, 2011. And yeah, ever since then this shit has just been sitting on a shelf. And the vocals were the last thing to get done. Took us way too long to do it, and that was like the last real you know addition to the album, like instrumental addition, and last collaborative sort of thing that we did together.
We've hung out plenty of times. We just don't. We haven't actually played these songs physically together in the same room in a long time, except for when we filmed this music video, and we did do that.
And which song is the music video for?
Palace of Rot.
Okay.
Oh, Palace of Rot. I fucked that up earlier. Sorry, I'm still learning the names.
It's all good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, that video we filmed here in my hometown of Brilliant, Ohio. There is a haunted house locally. It's run by a great guy, Sean Norman. And he let us use the building to film in, which is great because, all the rooms are they're already done. So there's no set dressing we had to do. It's already ready to go. He had a guy for us, Archie, that was in this video. So I don't know. We got to do some cool stuff. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it because it's pretty cool. It's also very gross.
It's been
I
called
will go watch that.
sickening by many people, and I'm like, if you guys like death metal and you like horror movies, like, what the hell are you expecting, you know?
It's just got a quick flash of like poop in it. It's not real poop.
Poop, cum, and I don't know, eating cockroaches. I mean, what's so bad about all that?
Not,
Sounds run of the mill death metal music video to me.
yeah, it's not so bad.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like a fucking Tuesday for me.
Sounds like an episode of Fear Factor.
Eat this jizzing, pooping cockroach right now for $50,000.
All right.
I mean, that's the episode. That's the fucking Fear Factor episode.
There it is.
That's the one you're on.
Yeah, that's the one that every
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Man.
Did you guys track everything? I mean, I guess you did. You tracked it all like yourselves, and then you said you sent it off to someone to mix, but you said there was no studio time for you guys.
Well, Alan recorded the drums in Wyoming. Right.
Yeah, and with that, like, I went to a buddy of mine because it was like, again, we have no money. This is a very first release. Like, I mean, I was even more broke then when I did it than, you know, after we got the vocals done and everything. But like, it's all tracked on a V drum kit. Like, in 2011, it was like, you know, home recording stuff was just really becoming like affordable and easy to like learn and do yourself. So I went to the only person in town that I got a recommendation from another friend who had like a drum kit from hell on his computer, and I plugged in and we recorded all the MIDI through there. But I did, you know, play everything, and I've posted videos of the tracking and everything. But yeah, that was done in Wyoming, and then Matt did everything from his house on his end.
I recorded with the guitars with my friend Chris in 2012 before I had any recording equipment. So we recorded at his house. We did all the vocals here at my place. So yeah, everything was, I guess, DIY. You know, we didn't go to any real studios to do it. It's all done in people's basements.
Man, I love that whenever bands, people can get together, write, and create on their own terms. I see a need for a studio, you know, I mean, I still see, but just the fact that you don't have to have one. So I guess I kind of contradict myself by saying need and then by saying you don't have to have it. But really, I guess what I'm saying, you know, is like, some people out there are going to be like, hey, I've got the money. I have no idea how to record and I don't want to learn how to record. And I've tried. And, you know, it's not like, I mean, it's easy in a sense, but there is still a learner's curve that goes with it. I mean, you've got to understand kind of how to turn some knobs within the software, you know, and you learn things the hard way too sometimes whenever you're doing it on your own. But I guess, you know, if you keep at it and you learn from your mistakes, you can usually develop something that sounds just as good as any professional studio. And I think, you know, it really shows with the time that you guys have put into it that that's, you know, what you're getting in the end. You know, sometimes being rushed or not being rushed, allowing yourself to just freely put stuff out, make sure you get a chance to critique it and listen to it. I've you know, done construction work in the past, and I remember one time we were putting white tile in a shower, and it was just the square tile, you know, that you'll see in a small, kind of like, I call them like the dungeon showers. But anyway, you know, we were putting this tile up, and then the next day we were coming into grout, and one of those tiles in there was gray or an off-white color. And we didn't even notice whenever we were doing it. But the next day, after we kind of stopped and came back and looked at the work before we got started, I mean, it stood out, you know, like big time. And so we had to pop it off and put a new one on. And it's just like kind of goes to show that whenever you can take a moment and step back, you can get a chance to see it in a different light. And sometimes that is a big difference maker between, what could have been a finished product and what was the finished product. And, you always want your was to be better. And I think, you guys probably took the right steps to make that happen. I always say timing is the right time, right? It took the right amount of time. And, you know, I think if you guys keep putting out bangers like that, man, nobody's going to care how long it takes. Just keep putting them out.
I would love to, and I think you're right too. I mean, like, part of the vocal recording, or the time that I spent doing the vocals and everything down with Matt was, some of that was also drum editing and adjusting and stuff, because like, when I had tracked Doomsday Doctrine, the original version, then like I put out a live playthrough back in 2013 that's been on my YouTube since then. And while learning it, I was kind of listening to what I had already done, and I was like, you know what? I feel like there was a lot of missed ideas and things that I could have done with this. And so when I did the playthrough, I added a bunch of stuff that wasn't in the initial recording. And so then going down to Matt's house where everything was done through MIDI, and it was just playing Superior Drummer samples. I rewrote all the song to have everything that I had um, written like after the fact and thrown into that playthrough. And I was really happy that I got to do that, because I don't think it would be nearly as cool sounding without it. And it also just allowed uh, those finishing touches, because it was kind of like when I tracked it at that guy's house, he didn't even do any editing. Like, it literally just was like, I recorded it, I got everything as accurately as possible um for the MIDI, but like none of it was you know like moved around to be in time, or like doing those final like polishing edits and things that you need to do. So I kind of like went in there and took care of everything after the fact, and with a lot more knowledge under my belt in how to accomplish that and everything. So um, no, I was very happy that it came out this way, and we, as much as I hated that it took this long, it definitely needed that to feel like a solid finished record. And ultimately, in the end, it's like you just want anything that you make to be something that you like to go back and listen to, and you don't constantly listen to like the entire album, or like a couple of songs, or like a section in a song or whatever, and then you're like, oh god damn it, that's where like they fucked up the edit and they didn't like get the right take, and so there's like cymbal bleed or something that sounds wrong, or like I don't know. There's a million different things that can happen when somebody else is editing your shit and they don't know the material as well as you do. So it was nice to be um absolutely fucking insane with how much I wanted to listen to it and move things around and try, you know, or write out the shit that I wanted to do, and just make sure that it all fit like in the music like the way it was supposed to. So yeah, it was great for that reason.
I know what you mean because right? Like whenever things don't sound like the way they're supposed to, or whenever it's I don't know, like I can relate in a way of us doing this show and listening back through edits, or listening back through things whenever I'm going through and editing, and how many times I'll like cringe at something I said that I was like, dude, why did you, and I mean, I do it all the time. I say silly stuff. And so, or like the recording doesn't come out like great for some reason. And then I'm like, well, how do I, still make sure and show this in a light to promote this band and do a good job, and it not sound bad, and so it's like you go back and you listen, and when stuff isn't right, and whenever you had to compromise on something, and it's never fun going back and revisiting those compromises.
Just wait 15 years and keep listening to it through the 15 years and then release it, and then you'll know it's ready.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good. Yeah, we'll
That's
sit on this one for a while.
So so this episode is going to come out in 2041, okay? And
Perfect.
it's
That'll
gonna be
be right on-
hot.
It'll be right
It's
on
gonna be
top
hot.
now.
Oh, I freaking love it. Well, you talked a little bit, Alan, about how you got your drum sound on the album, but Matt, I was wondering, for the guitar work and whatnot, what are you doing? What are you using?
I mean, when we recorded this, all of this stuff was recorded on a Line 6 Pod 4. Like just straight up. Whatever preset. Nowadays
That
I use like way different stuff. Back then that's what was available.
dude, that's a time capsule of admission, like what you were recording on.
Yeah, it's just that's what there was. There it was. Plug right in. It goes right in the computer.
Exactly.
Sick.
I remember all that stuff, man. We were just on the last episode talking about Tascam 4-track recorders and stuff.
Oh yeah,
so,
I have a Tascam 4-track, cassette 4-track. I used to
you got the blue one?
It's blue, yeah. Yeah, I used to record some stuff on that back in high school.
It's a legend. The thing's a legend, man.
I wish it had 6 tracks. I think 4. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you're gonna do with 4 because you have to do like mono, or you have to like mix down with 2 machines or something to try to get more tracks. So it gets a little tricky.
Yeah, back in the day, miking up drums, but running them into 1 track on a 4-track. One drum level. That was it. Even if you had the different mics still, but the most you could actually, get in there if you like were able to route them into one was really just one, because you had to have the guitar, you had to have, vocals. So maybe you could get away with 2 on the drums, maybe. And then I remember the tapes, right? Because it looked like a regular cassette tape, but all 4 tracks now are on the one side, right? Instead of being able to have an A side and a B side. So I was always like, that's kind of neat. You guys remember that, right?
Yes.
Matt's with me.
My mom actually had one of those too, being a musician, and she sold it to a friend of mine that this was like, yeah, close to around the time that we were doing this thing as well. And he fucking loved it because that was exactly what he was going for. He was like, I want this sound and I want to do it with this thing. And like, he was so fucking pumped to buy that off of her. I'm sure she could have fucking marked it up 3 times as much for the price and he would have, bought it anyway.
Yeah, for sure. And nowadays people are spending, $100 for like a tape mix effect, to drop into their DAW to get that mix sound, or whatever, to try to replicate these analog sounds that we used to get. It's funny how, we were analog and we wanted digital, right? Because you could do more with less. And then now everybody's like, yeah, but how do I get that analog sound? And you're like, with analog.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It's
they're
like,
trying to.
I was gonna say the whole Steve Albini thing. Like, I mean, that guy was huge into analog and just loved the way that, like, it all sounded just through just electrical signals, and it does produce like obviously different tones and everything. But yeah, I think it makes sense because it's like, you get so far into the sterility of perfect sound that like it loses its human qualities, and it loses that sort of literal warmth and there's just nothing that can emulate that the way that that old technology, made it sound. So, gotta go with it.
Scientifically, it's what it's doing to the waveform, right? Because like digital waveforms are a lot more precise, but analog equipment tends to round off the peaks of sound waves in a particular way that sounds really pleasant. But you can emulate that with a computer with the right things, or just like with the right kind of EQing, if you know what you're doing. But I do believe that there is, like, in terms of like analog tape, there's some kind of like magic there. There's some magic there, and just I think the way the things get glued together on final mixes, the instruments bleed together maybe a little bit. It's not quite as hi-fi. It can be, I guess, if you have the right kind of tape, But I tend to like, when I record a record like my man band Dr. Smoke, our last record, I listened to the cassette tape. I remember just thinking like, wow, just like something about it sounding more lo-fi on the cassette tape enhanced the vibe of it somehow, where it's like it's the same record. I've heard it, I recorded it, I've listened to it 50 times, I'm almost sick of it, but hearing it like just with this slightly different sound, a little more lo-fi, I get that hiss in the background, it just gives it a little bit of a vibe, I don't know, that I like.
I think it helps put you in the room. And that's the way I've always described it with those kind of sounds versus, the digital sound, you're like kind of separated from it. I always feel like whenever you're listening to actual hard copy music, I mean, even CDs a little bit gave me that feeling, but I think that's where
Yeah, absolutely.
but just helps kind of bring me right there with it for some reason, because I can hear this background, I can hear all this stuff. But I think we should take a second, and we've been talking about music, and we've been talking about the album Unfathomable Mutagenic Abominations. Freaking awesome album. Why don't we give everybody a chance to hear what Infestuous is all about, if they haven't already, right?
Sounds good.
Hell yeah. Get this in your fucking ear holes right now, right here. We're going to play for you our single Inexorable Oblivion off of our album, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I know you will enjoy it, and if you don't, then you better fucking enjoy it.
You
There you go.
heard it right
No,
there.
it's
Everybody,
never been said better.
Yeah, it's you can, but also you will. And so you have a choice, but you also don't.
words from the wise. Consider yourself warned. Push play. Ah, brutalness, man. We freaking love it. I hope you loved it too. Thanks for letting us play it. Thanks for letting us get a chance to show it to everybody. And I like to say this every episode: if you haven't heard it, I know you loved it, just like Alan said. But if you have heard it already, if you've been listening to it, or you forgot, right, because it came out, now it's back to the top of the list. So go out there, make sure to put it back on again, because as Brando mentioned earlier, and I couldn't echo this enough times, the replayability of this album is insane. And the amount of things that you learn about it the more you listen just make you want to know, what am I going to hear next time too? So, go out there and check it out, guys. There's a lot more than that.
Matt sideways.
I was just gonna ask, am I sideways now?
You are.
I don't know how
And
to fix it.
also
I had
to
to
get
plug
those
my
play
phone in.
to get those play streams up, be sure to use it for funerals, weddings, quinceañeras, fucking nap time at preschool. I don't know.
Yes.
Just get it out there. Give it to everybody. Make them listen to it. Just get it in rotation, however you can.
My daughter's 7th birthday party is going to be this weekend, so I'm going to have the indoor playground place just crank
Hell
it
yeah,
up.
that's like a half quinceañera right there.
Yes, love it.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. I mean, like, honestly, I really appreciate you having us on and all the kind words about the stuff, because this is the first interviews we've done about this stuff, and it's cool to talk about this, and just glad that you all dig the record.
Hell yeah, man. Like, I don't see how anybody couldn't if they're into some death metal, man. And I really hope that everybody else out there, doesn't pass or sleep on it, that they make sure that they take the time to go check it out. They're not going to be upset. And you guys also have cool sample placing in it. And I know it's like the bookends, but I got to make a comment. As soon as I heard like the bookends of the samples, I thought to myself, the very first album, it took me back to the very first album I remembered hearing that on, that I paid attention to it, and that was The Offspring's album Smash, where the guy's telling you, all right, sit back and enjoy. And then after the whole album's over, he's like, well, I hope you had some time to, and he just kind of gives you this goodbye. And when the bookends of the samples happened, it immediately made me smile and think even about that moment. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I love it. I haven't heard this in a while, and so I'm a big fan of samples too. So, for anybody else out there, just having, some uniqueness aside from just how awesome the music is, just kind of helps package that story together into something that, is you really want to, experience it.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that was Matt's doing, and I hope everybody gets the feeling of being strapped to a table, maybe with tubes going into every orifice, and your eyeballs or your eyelids being pried open, being taken through this sonic adventure. But it was to be the director for a second that overly explains the idea. We wanted to make it like an anthological sort of approach, where it's all the songs have different themes in terms of the subjectry and stuff. And I think Matt came up with a really good intro and outro to kind of you know make that the feeling of it. It's sort of these are all just horrific stories and ideas and things, and so when volume 2 comes out, we don't know. It may be a concept, it may be more anthology type stuff, but yeah, it was I liked it as well, so thank you for that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's definitely the placement of stuff like that can add so much to already what you're doing so well. And so, I think everybody else out there will like that too. It almost checks you in, right? It's like, get ready, like you said, strapped in. It's like, get ready for the ride, and then afterwards you're like, whew, what a ride.
I would hope so.
So
I hope you're at least bleeding out of a nostril or an ear hole. I don't know.
yeah, something, some hole.
All the holes.
All
Oh,
holes.
maybe.
It's the name of the next album. But there's something we like to do right at the end, guys, and we call it the Furious Five, unrelated to any movie that you may or may not have heard. But it is strictly 5 questions that not related to music that we like to zip through real quick to give people just a quick chance to know you on a different level. The idea being that they'll see you as somebody like them, somebody that they, want to relate to, that they want to, interact with out online, and that they want to ultimately follow, listen, share, and do all of those things right that we need in the metal community to keep this thing going, the greatest community on planet Earth.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, 5 questions. Each of you will answer, like, question 1. We'll take turns, then question 2. And Brandon and I will take turns asking the question. So, it'll be a change up for us all, throughout. So,
Everyone gets a cooperation trophy.
Bad
right.
cop, worse cop.
Yeah.
You know it. You know it. So, who would like to go first?
Matt, make Matt do it.
All right, I'll go
Matt,
first.
this time, Matt's going to start it. All right, Matt. Question 1. Is there a phrase or a saying that you often use?
Fuck.
Oh my god, it's like the newlywed game. I could answer this question.
That's probably just like that sucks or something. I don't know.
That works. Yeah. Your first reaction was a was a good one.
Yeah, probably it's just like fuck. Yeah, I say that. That's probably about a bajillion times a day.
I'm
It's
gonna
the-
answer as his band wife and say that he's got this fucking weird Ohio thing that he does where like he says like instead of all kinds being plural, he's like all kinda. Like
Oh yeah, well,
there's like all kind of stuff here. And I'm like,
yeah.
so it's a singular? And it's
That's,
like, no, that's his fucking like,
There's one
all
kind.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
There's one kind,
But
and
there's
he's got all of it.
Exactly.
that's funny that
yeah,
that's
yeah,
funny that you've picked up on that and remember that forever. And I think that's kind of funny.
Oh, dude, most Ohio Valley shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's so funny because it reminds me one time I was talking with a guy who was up in California, and he was it was whenever I was in college, and he said that the thing that he thought was weird that we said in Oklahoma was we used the word visit whenever we're just like hanging out with somebody. Like, oh, I went over to so and so's house. Well, what'd y'all do? Yeah, we just visited. And
But
he was
that
like,
sounds pretty
what
normal.
the? He's like, what the hell is that? Visited. And I'm like,
We
it
hung out.
just means like, yeah, we talked, we hung out. It's like it groups together all of the things you do when you go over to somebody's house. We might have ate some food, we might have drank some iced tea. I don't know. We visited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
and like when you don't come home the next day and your wife's pissed and you're like, I'm sorry, we were just visiting real hard and passed out.
visiting.
That's
I,
interesting. I've never heard that.
That's it.
you've never heard visited?
Yeah, no, not as like a hanging out type of, word.
That sounds pretty normal to me. I don't know.
I see. There we go. There's a good example right there. Well, all right, Alan, what's your saying?
My saying, oh fuck. Damn, I know my partner's fucking god, she's got this thing that I say all the time. Hang on 1 second. This should take like 10 seconds real quick. She knows the thing that I always fucking say and it drives her insane.
I like what we're doing here because with Matt, Alan was like, hang on, I know what the answer is. And with Alan, Alan's like, let me get my partner.
Yeah, like it's something that I say all the fucking time, and I didn't realize that I do it all the time. Hey, what's the thing that I say all the time that you used to give me shit about? Like, it was literally like you used to make fun of me all the time for saying whatever it was.
Oh God. It was something like something like that. I can't remember.
Okay, well, you're no help right now.
The suspense is killing me.
I think it was something like the thing is, or something along that line. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, so that's kind of my catchphrase, even if it's not, the most interesting or, individual about me. But I think that might be it. I don't know if Matt has an answer or not.
I don't pick up on stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you're taking the whole thing in. You're taking all kind of stuff in.
All kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, those are two. Those are good. Those are both acceptable answers. You know what you got? F plus. All right.
But barely.
All right. You guys ready for question 2?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Back down over here to Matt. Get us started. Would you rather have a tour bus with no AC or one with no heater?
I'd like to have a bus in general. Would be cool. I have a van. I guess.
Well,
if you're
what about your van?
If you're talking about my van, I would say that I would much rather have AC. Because and I think it's pretty obvious. Like you can only take so many layers off. If you need to cool off, you need to cool off. You can put on more pants, more jackets. More blankets and less blankets. But you can't.
I second that. That is also my answer, except for I do have a zipper behind my head that I can take my whole epidermis off.
Nice.
It's he installed it himself.
I did. Actually, no, I was just born with it. It was really weird. And one day, just like did the thing, and I was like, oh shit, we better keep that on because I think I need that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to warm up if you have to.
Yeah. I mean, you can always burn stuff in the van while you're driving, like just get a fire going too.
It's not toxic.
Just, whatever garbage you got lying around, you got a little fire going on the whole time.
Yeah, like that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Charlie and Mac, they start burning the wicker furniture in the U-Haul trailer they're hauling behind it. Like,
I was also thinking about the Moonawana from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but that was more for getting high purposes. But it was a tire under a glass structure.
That's funny. Yeah.
So that's
right.
it. Don't be cold.
Question 3.
Question 3. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Don't be hot.
About a 5.
All right, so number 3. All right, Matt, where is your ideal vacation spot? It doesn't have to be a place you've been. It could be a place you'd like to go, or just, I don't know. I'll let you answer.
Well, I mean, I like Myrtle Beach. I'm going there again this year. I've been there a bunch of times. So probably that. I also like ideal vacation. I'd say is probably something like that. Probably something beachy seems vacationing to me. Although there are places that I go for trips that are like Ligonier, PA. I go with my fiance. We've been there a few times, and we stay like in like an Airbnb cabin, and it's like in the woods, and we hike and stuff like that. That's not really like a vacation as much as like a getaway or something. For me, vacation, I'm thinking like I'm wearing like a Hawaiian shirt and like flip flops, and I'm eating some good food, and it's hot. That's so I'd say probably Myrtle Beach.
I like it.
Brando, he's a beach goer. He loves that stuff, man.
Absolutely.
All right, Alan.
I guess mine is a standby that I've had forever. I think Japan is like my favorite country I've ever been to. It's got literally everything you could possibly want out of a vacation. You've got forests, you've got mountains, you've got tropical places, you've got I don't think they have deserts at all. Uh, but like the tropical places are, it's like Okinawa. It's like, even like a little bit off the mainland and everything. But oh my God, it's such a incredible place. It's like you have to spend like at least 2 weeks there and going to select cities for a few days at a time to really like take it all in, and even then it's like I don't think you could possibly accomplish everything you want to all in one go. But another general answer is like I do like, yeah, a lot of beach stuff. My partner's from fucking South America, and like she is from Venezuela, and like then she moved, her family moved to Brazil, and I got to go all over both of those countries and spend a good amount of time in both places, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, like the jungles and everything too. And so yeah, I think again, rather be hot than cold, I think. But yeah, I like the idea of being able to go outdoors and kind of hang out and not really be forced to be inside for the sake of trying to keep my limbs from dying, from extreme cold.
You're having to take that skin off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then the blood freezes and it gets sticky, and you know how it goes.
That's no good for anybody.
Nah.
Nope. Hey, and I will say you're not the first person who's mentioned like Japan or something. I mean, we always ask like, a place you could visit or, some sort of variation of where you would like to go or your favorite place you've been. And Japan's came up multiple times. And
Thinking I need to go there.
yeah, I've actually thought that too. Like, I need to go to Japan. I'm not even one who loves to travel, but that would be a place that I would really like to go. And I've been to Brazil though. That is a cool place.
Yeah, it's amazing. It just kind of sucks that like if you don't know Portuguese, you're kind of fucked because there's
Dude,
just
try going to one of those soccer football games down there and not being able to understand a word anybody's saying, and you got the people you're with and the people you're trying to like buy the tickets from like yelling at each other, and afterwards you're like, is everything cool? And you're like, or they say, yeah, we were just working out a fair price, and I'm like, man, I thought we were about to throw down. I
if
had
you
no
give
idea what
him
was going on.
if you give him your money, I'm stabbing you.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was just like, yeah, it's nuts not knowing the language. That is a little scary whenever you're there.
Yeah, Portuguese isn't Spanish, it's like Spanish, it's everybody's got a little bit of that, and then it's also very like similar to English in a lot of different ways, but man, Portuguese is like fucking, I mean, it is similar in some ways, but I still feel like it's uh maybe just in its pronunciations and things, it sounds a lot different than
It
what
sounds
you're
different. I agree.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, totally. All right, Brando.
Question 4, you ready? Matt, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, man. Favorite thing to grab for a quick bite to eat?
At home or out?
Wherever. You just need a quick bite. What you craving? What you gonna grab?
If I'm out, it's Jimmy John's.
Okay. If you're
Uh,
at home,
if I'm at home, it's just whatever the fuck I got lying around. I got tortilla chip maybe, or like maybe
Leftovers, you a leftover guy?
maybe for like a day or two. depending on what it is. Sometimes I think things are better, they sit longer, like pasta. I'll eat for a few days, rice, stuff like that. Certain things I won't eat after like day one. But I don't know. I
I got
munch
a
on stuff.
3-day rule.
Nuts. I got like mixed nuts or like peanut butter or like lately I just take like, oh, I need to munch on something, and I just take like a tortilla and then I crush up tortilla chips inside the tortilla and roll that up,
Nice.
and it's just dry.
It's just literally chips and tortilla.
It sounds dry, but
Jesus Christ.
it gives
All
the
right.
tortilla a crunch.
I can eat handfuls of chips, but like they're contained inside the tortilla.
I think you're inventing something new, man.
I'm gonna try this, Matt. I'm gonna
Yes,
try
yeah,
this.
like there is now a better delivery method for bringing the chip in. Like I'm
I
kind of
guess
seeing
so,
the
but I'm
purpose
not
here.
using any dips. It's
I gotta
just-
ask, are they seasoned tortilla chips? Like do you buy like Julio's brand or something that's got some kind of like seasoned and flavoring to it, or is it just straight up yellow
It's just
salted
salt, baby.
tortilla chips?
That's just whatever's in the cabinet. I don't know.
Okay.
This is cracking me up, man. This
So-
is
Well,
like
I am gonna try this. I'm trying it.
It's not great. Don't expect
No.
greatness.
You
sounds
found
like
another
it's-
use for
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
the
try it.
bottom of the chip bag, man. The bottom of the chip bag. It's like, what am I going to do with these? And you got to like do the tip up method, right?
That's like if I need.
No.
It's mostly just like if
No,
you need
it's
some
tortilla
fast carbs.
time.
If you're like feeling kind of tired and you need some fast carbs or something like that, that's there you go.
Did you see the Simpsons episode where they're playing, what is that, cricket or something? They play cricket, and it's Nelson's dad, and he's making them eat rice sandwiches because it's just bread and rice that's carbs.
I was gonna say it's fast carbs for slow time.
There you go.
It's gonna make you real tired after you eat it.
That's it.
Oh
You're
my
gonna
God,
start
that's so great. I can't
you're
wait
gonna
to
start a
try
new
it, Matt.
trend,
I'm
man.
gonna
Yeah.
find you on social media and I'm gonna let you know how it goes.
Okay.
All right.
Dude,
All right.
no, like start a cooking channel and that's your first recipe, Brando, is you like laying the
Well,
tortilla
this-
out, crunching up chips and rolling it up and eating it, man. And you're like, ta-da.
Dude, I'm also just thinking about like, yes, I love the idea of, hey, you could use the very, very, very end of the chip bag and throw it into something that could deliver it to your mouth. But I also think like that is just a snack that is so dry that like if you get a little too excited and inhale, it's just straight into the windpipe and you're just fucking coughing all the rest of it out.
Yeah, you got to.
But you might be a goner, man. You might be a goner.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I think that's too much salt. All the salt's in there. It's too salt.
True.
Mm.
Sodium bomb.
Yeah. Then you're gonna be dehydrated, and you got to drink more water. And the whole point is it's dry. It's dry, and if you got to drink more water, then it's wet.
So you just dip it in there, if you do a little bit, if you need to keep it down a little bit easier.
I will say this. I've realized lately that like hot dogs are better wet. Because like, if you make like I make like these these veggie dogs in the microwave, right? And like, then I eat the bun, but the bun is always like so dry, and like the hot dog's not necessarily very moist either. So like you gotta like you take it right out of the water that you boiled it in, and make sure you get some of the water on the bun. Those guys who eat hot dogs professionally, they got it. They know. They
That's
dip it
I've
in the
seen
water.
that, man. They dip the whole thing in the water. Yeah. They're like,
I saw a video the other day of this guy. His name's like Dr. Do or something, and he was
No,
he was
Doctor,
talking
I know
about-
who you're talking about.
and he was talking about, oh, you guys tired of your hot dog water just tasting like hot dogs after you're done boiling a hot dog? And he's like, well, we gotta do this in the dew. And he boils his hot dogs in Mountain Dew or some shit. Like,
Yeah, I know who you're
Hell
talking
yeah. That is some fucking redneck ingenuity right now, or culinary, artisticness.
it was
Yeah.
beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
just makes me think of like how we got to, at least the food that we do eat, like how many of that stuff actually happened that We didn't document. We didn't have social media then, but
And so someone just took the bottom of a tortilla chip bag and put it in a tortilla, and like here we are.
That's true.
ta-da.
It's kind of fucking tortillaception going on where you got crunched up, dried version of it within the like spongier, maybe more moist like wrapping, and it's all the same.
Yeah, that's the point. I don't know how you could take it. I don't know how you could take it further. I don't think you could take it any further than that, though.
It's like I don't
No.
know. It's like putting it. I don't know. It's like eating corn with popcorn or something like that.
That sounds pretty. That sounds pretty good. You ever put
What about
corn on
beef?
You ever put corn on pizza?
No, man, that's a Japanese / European thing, and I
Did you
fucking
know
hate
that
them for that.
corn is like one of the most popular pizza toppings in the United States?
I
Who
did
the
not
fuck
know
is
that.
eating that?
Yeah,
Where?
what do you have to order to get that?
Oh, I mean, if you go, there's a place in Pittsburgh, what's Robinson, PA, like called Blaze Pizza, which is a chain, and you can get
Oh, yeah, we
corn on
got
pizza.
Blaze.
Yeah, they got corn, but corn on pizza's good. It's like a Midwest thing. That's where all the
I'm gonna
corn.
try it.
That's where all the corn is. So
I feel like we need to hang out and just talk about food, Matt. Like, this is good stuff. I'm gonna try all these things for
Cooking
corn
sure.
on pizza.
podcast.
I might take your tortilla thing, and I was thinking as like we could do pita chips and a pita.
Yeah, that sounds way drier.
That well, if we started this episode talking about constantly being on the journey for the next heavier thing, right? Well, now we're gonna end it just going. We're looking for the driest thing we can. Is what we're doing. That's
Hey, make sure you put a whole tablespoon of cinnamon on it too when you eat it.
There you
Ooh,
go.
ouch. All right, Alan.
Goodness. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to grab for a quick bite to eat?
All right, mine's a little bit more normal. It's either nothing because I in this household we definitely try to keep from snacking and limit eating to meal times. And boy, oh boy, when I am on tour, I gain, like, I'm not even kidding, like fucking a whole 15 to 20 pounds and then like lose it within the next like 3 to 4 months between tours. And that's because I get to snack on whatever. And, but generally, like when I'm at home, we'll get shit like rice cakes, and so that's the most boring ass answer in the world. But it's like, hey man, it's good filler. It will not be calorically dense. But if I have an option to go get something, oh dude, it'd be fucking Panda Express all day. I've been very much contemplating getting the panda tattooed on me with the sriracha uh cock. And yeah, I don't know if I'd have them fighting or riding one another, or I don't know, something of that nature. But man, I'm like a slut for Asian food. And yeah, so Panda Express is kind of my go-to, like, easy to hopefully acquire food. And then snackage is it's nothing because I try not to eat in between meals.
Or the rice cakes, which keeps us on topic with the dry. Love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very dry. Do not prefer that moist at all or with any sort of liquid. So you could just take that right out of the equation. Like, it's going to be dry. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Lightly salted. I also do like the what the
Cinnamon?
hell is, yes, the apple cinnamon like Quaker rice cake. That's cool. I
You
just
put
don't
some
spring.
peanut butter on a rice cake, you could probably almost choke to death on it.
Yes, pretty much. I think I
Yes.
have come close to that in the past, and I don't do it very often. But yeah, it's pretty great. And I don't spring for the Quaker though, because the Quaker's a little bit extra, and I'll just go get the Aldi lightly salted or something. And I like to torture myself, just like make food unenjoyable just fill yourself. Just make sure that you know that you're eating for energy only. And then when I go on tour, that's when I splurge. That's when I fucking really gluttonously, get whatever the fuck I feel like eating.
Sounds good. I
It's
really
probably a good.
enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that question. Good
Yes.
question. Writing. Good job. That was good. All right.
Thank you.
Last
That
question,
was a good
guys.
one.
And then
Last
we'll let you have
question.
your night.
Yeah, Matt's like, we were on that question for 15 minutes.
That was a
Matt.
very interesting answer.
Yeah, I know. This is a good one, man. What would a movie about you be titled?
It's probably just like boring. Nothing. I don't know. Nothing happens. Just the film. Just sit here. What's time lapse? I don't know.
Time lapse.
Just like watch a guy sit at a desk, and the shadows in the room will change.
What's the meme where it's like a guy sitting like on the bench by himself, and they put a whole bunch of stuff on there, like when you find out you missed out on the Shudder free 3-month subscription, and it's the guy like sitting on the bench, like looking all sad. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
All right.
I definitely feel it though. I've definitely been a guy on a bench feeling real sad.
We're gonna find it. And
were you eating a tortilla with tortilla chips in it at the same time?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not good at titling things either. So there's
okay,
that.
let's try this a little different to me. Alan, what would a movie about Matt be titled?
Oh no.
All kind of things?
He's gonna say the same thing. Boring.
Oh my god, no, all kind of things kind of would be the title, and it would almost work because it would be like, yeah, sure, there's diversity to it, but the title itself kind of gives it away, and all kind of things being like a Midwest sort of thing. So it's like all kind of things within the Midwest, and that really doesn't give you a whole lot of
No,
diversity
that's kind of
whatsoever.
good. That's kind of good, Alan, because it's all kind of things. Because then it's like every 10 minutes, it can just change like the plot of the movie by like what my current interest might be.
There you go. Yeah. The momentary, the novelty, like jumping from novelty to novelty, and yeah, it's all kind of things.
All kind of things. Oh, that's Pablo.
Yeah, that's Pablo Escobar.
Pascal.
Yeah, that's right. It was Pablo. I forgot it was
Narcos.
even him. Yeah,
From Narcos, right?
From Narcos, yeah. Anyway.
I've never seen that show.
Oh, that's a good show. You should check that out.
I might one day. There's so many shows.
Too many shows. Way too many shows.
I have trouble with that, Matt, because I have to like get, like I feel like emotionally invested in this show whenever a new one comes out. And so I'm almost afraid to start a new one or even get involved whenever people say it's great, because I'm like, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid it's going to be too good.
What if it gets canceled and they break my heart?
Yeah, after season 1, they're going to be like, that's it. It's over. Actually, if it was like that, I might be like, all right, let's do it. But whenever it's like, this is going to be 7 or 8 seasons long, I'm like, it's got some work to do.
What if I die before it ends? How will I know?
All right, Alan,
Alan's
can you tell us
turn.
your movie? Yeah.
It's called The Fantastical Misadventures of Innocuous Events. And it is exactly what you would think it would be. It is boring shit gone some sideways situation, and it's within it's within situations that are maybe actually interesting, but my side of it is the boring aspect and how it goes sideways. And it's generally because I've got behind the scenes shit to do, on tour and shit like that. And then it's like I end up fucking up the mundane somehow, and then I have to deal with that, or I'm at home and I've got more boring day-to-day shit to do. And my ADHD fucks it up somehow, and then I have to, rectify that. And yeah, I would say that basically sums it up. It's like I find a way to not pay attention to something enough that it becomes a problem, and I didn't think it through enough, and then you're gonna follow me through how that unfolds. And yeah, so it's entertaining. I guarantee you it's entertaining. It's just also with the premise of like this is day to day within fun stuff that isn't the fun stuff gone right. It's the fun stuff gone slightly wrong, and but it's also
Sideways.
boring. Yes, exactly.
No, I feel you. It's like misadventures in a way. You know,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's what it says right there, man. So, I think it sounds great, man. And the fact that you had it all planned out like that, and you had no idea I was even going to ask you, it's impressive.
No, I had the minute and 30 with Matt's answer to come up with it.
You were ready, and it sounded like if we would have been in a meeting and you were pitching the idea to me, I'd have been like, well, at least he came with an idea, man. And you didn't, you made it up on the fly. So
I hope
again,
it's like Matt Groening, like just show up to the ultra huge meeting at Fox and pitch the most like put together random thought you can make, and they just fucking accept it, and then you're tasked with trying to figure out how to actually make it worthwhile.
that's right. Run it, right? Let's run it. So,
Yeah, exactly.
guys, thanks for playing the Furious Five. Thanks for hanging with us through the goofiness. I know that, it takes us a little bit away from the brutal music, which is our primary purpose, but, we want people to get to know you, and then we want them to, feel that personal connection so that you and the music and them are all like, a part of the same story. And that's what we're here about, man, is just telling the metal stories, trying to let everybody know a little bit more about Infestuous and getting them, familiar hopefully with unfathomable mutagenic abominations.
That's right. Let it infect your nightmares, but
Yes.
also plenty of brutality on that album, so we'll contrast it with our stupid personalities.
Well, it wouldn't be metal without a little bit of that too, right? So,
That's right.
Love it.
because it's got to be fun, and whenever you guys are having fun and you guys are excited about it, we've said it a million times on the show, it makes us as listeners just want to check it out even more. And the fact again that the record backs it up, just by listening alone, then, that right there just kind of helps bring it home. And we love you guys, man. We love the album, and we are so grateful that you took some time tonight to hang out with us.
Yeah, thanks for
Hell
having.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us, and thank you for all the kind words.
Absolutely. You guys are just as awesome as the music. Keep it up. Can't wait to hear what's next for y'all.
Thank you.
Everybody out there, go listen to Infestuous. Go listen to the recent album. We hope you dug the song that we got to play today. Everybody out there, keep it freaking brutal. Until next time, Metal Block over and out.